Welcome to Yeshivat Shalom Bayit. The evening seder started already at 7 o'clock. Everyone is welcome to come and join us, B'ezrat Hashem. All ladies, if you want Shalom Bayit, the best thing is to send your husband to learn in the Beis Midrash in the mornings and at nights, and in between the jobs. B'ezrat Hashem, that will cause a lot of Shalom Bayit. So now we're starting the B'ezrat Hashem, the period of Chanukah, Halachot Chanukah. We're going to be learning Sefer Chazon Ovadiya. We're going to touch on certain aspects from the notes that he discusses, B'ezrat Hashem. But we're going to primarily we're going to cover the halacha and then notes if they're related to the subject. First, obviously, the first halacha that he points out over here, it's going to be a long discussion and keynotes, which we're probably going to touch in a little bit, but because there's an important events, certain things that occurred, and how do we have this whole concept of keeping exactly 8 days of Chanukah? So the rabbi starts like this. Halacha Aleph, in Halachot Chanukah, Sefer Chazon Ovadiya. בתקופת הבית השני גזרו מלכי יוון גזרות על ישראל. What happened was in the second Beit HaMikdash, second temple, the Greeks became a very powerful nation, and they were conquering cities and states and countries. They came to Eretz Israel and they tried to establish, as they conquered Eretz Israel, they tried to establish their own rulerships of governorship. And what happened was that these Greeks, they wanted to completely disintegrate the entire knowledge of the Torah that we had, and they wanted to annihilate anything that has to do with religion. And they didn't, not just they didn't want us to follow the Torah, they didn't even want us to learn the Torah. Not to learn. What bothers you? You don't want me to follow. You don't want me to keep Shabbos. I could learn, but I don't have to keep. No, you can't even learn. Now we have to understand which governor we're talking about. Greeks. The whole world today is built on Greek theology. What is Greeks all about? Education. It's all about education. They came to Am Israel and they told Am Israel, don't learn. That was the strange thing. Every country they conquered, what was the main reason they conquered them? Because they were uneducated. Every country around the world was uneducated.
We were most educated.
What?
We were most educated.
We were the most educated from everybody. So no, that's it's amazing. Yeah. Everybody they conquered, they instituted their theology and all those despicable behaviors, modes, how you're supposed to live your life. They came to the Jews. Oh, you can't learn. And they pressed the Jews very greatly, and they took away all their possessions, worldly possessions, right? And also their physical unfortunately they desecrated our girls, they took them away, and they came into Kodesh Kodoshim, they went in and they made impure everything that they could touch their hands of it. And there was a great suffering to the Jewish nation before them, until Hashem, our God, the Father of our gods, the God of our fathers, He had mercy on Am Israel. And then He saved in the Jewish nation. How much was who was the power? Who was the powerhouse? The draggers, the bulldozers that went through this whole thing to interrupt this Greek theology from taking place in the Jewish nation? Those were the Hashmonaim, the family of the Kohanim, of Gedolim, and they conquered the enemies and they killed all of them. V'hoshiu et Israel miyadam, and they saved the Jewish nation from their hands. V'hemidu melech min haKohanim. That was the mistake. One mistake that the Kohanim did, they appointed a king from the Kohanim to be overseeing everything. Which again, the rabbi says over here, v'chazra malchut leIsrael, the kingdom ran back to the Jewish nation, and it lasted for over 200 years. 200 somewhat years, about 230 something years, until what? At Churban Abayit Hashani, until the Beit HaMikdash was destroyed the second time. וכשגברו ישראל על אויביהם ויעבדום. What happened was that as soon as the Jewish nation took over their enemies and destroyed their enemies completely, היה זה ביום כ"ה בכסלו. So now the rabbi says over here it was all on the 25th of Kislev, and we'll see that there's actually going to be a little bit more talking about that. When did it really transpire? The 25th or 24th? ונכנסו להיכל ולא מצאו שמן טהור להדליק מנורה שבבית המקדש. And as soon as they came into the Beit HaMikdash, they have not found any oil that was not untouched by the Romans, by the Greeks, the impurity. Meaning that אלא פח אחד של שמן שלא היה בו להדליק אלא יום אחד בלבד. They found one pitcher we call it, or one little jar of oil. In the olden days they had special jars, and each jar was sealed by Kohen Gadol. So that means that the purity is in it, and that it was not opened up by anybody else. And then Shemen Zayit Zach means that you had olive, and it was pressed in a certain manner, and it was a little punctured in the end, like a needle, edge point, and there would be a drop coming out of an olive. And that drop would be the most purest oil that there was. And that would be called Shemen Zayit Zach, and that obviously took a long time to make. It was carefully squeezing every olive by itself. Not like you had a system and machine just takes and what's his name? It had to be pressed properly. So it took a long time to prepare, and it was the most not just most pure, it was the most high level of oil that was possible. They called it today, fakely, I don't know if it's real, but virgin olive oil, right? They call it virgin cold press. There's processing involved.
Well, it's not just one drop, but they take as much as they can.
No, what they do is, I saw that they put a machine and they grind everything. Everything is grinded and they squeeze as much as possible out of it. Okay, this is talking about one olive, compressed one olive. They took the olive and it was pressed a certain amount of pressure so that it's gonna be like it's gonna be like a machine, a submarine.
Almost like press it by hand.
No, but submarine. You took a submarine and you put it all the way down in the water. You know what happens? It busts, explodes because of the pressure. Yeah. So that's what we're talking about. This olive was just perfect, so it shouldn't explode, but it's pressure enough, and then they make a little puncture, the oil comes out, that's it. That was the whole thing.
Process.
That was the process for each one olive.
They didn't just squeeze it that one drop should come out.
No.
It's a process.
It was specifically done that it was stationed. It was stationed into the spot. There was a spot, and that metal kli, that metal dish, would compress it a little bit, so it builds up the pressure, and then a little puncture, and that's it. That was one olive oil at a time. One olive at a time. Amazing. Okay? So the jar that they found was actually enough. And again, we have the Beit HaMikdash. We have 7, right? Menorah is 7 kanim. You have 7 lenters, they call, right? The 7 where the Kohen would spill the oil in there. So each jar that was sealed with Kohen Gadol was enough to fill up all 7 kanim for one day, and not more than that. And what was the story? And it would take obviously a long time till they prepare more. However, this jar that they found was going to be restored one day, less than for 8 days. So you could understand how long it takes to start squeezing oil from the olives. Again, that means that the process was the chorah that was how to squeeze oil. I mean, you can't tell me that they squeezed half, let's say like half a bucket, and then they still waited 8 days to bring it into the Midrash. Maybe traveling through time, right? I mean, but still, all the things, it took 7 actually days
to get all that oil.
To get oil. But how much oil was there? Let's say I have a bucket. Well, my plan is to get a bucket. So you had a bucket already on the second day. You're not going to bring it because you want to fill up the bucket. What was the whole story there, right?
What I heard was that they need to purify themselves.
That's also true. Not all of them are pure.
I see. To do this process.
Right, but the question is, if that's true, if that was the truth, by the way, who would light the menorah?
She would put the food on top of the radiator. And then
Is
she
he
would
pure?
start up the heating system, right? And that would actually lead the
wasn't pure at
food
the time
to
of
a hot
the,
temperature.
Well, no, but again, if he's pure already, why is he light? He's not allowed to light. He's not pure.
Oh, but, okay,
The
so
difference was is that
I see what you're saying.
Big deal.
yeah, because he would have lighted it the first day.
He would not be able to light if he's not
needed to
pure.
be pure.
Right,
So
he's usually the
Yeah.
one that lights. Colgado.
And yeah. All right. Anyway,
How important is it? So someone else light. If he can't light, say he's telling me the Colgado. But someone else light.
so maybe the person who was pressing the olives wasn't necessarily going out.
okay.
Doesn't have right.
So what? One person will pure the whole nation? No, very strange for me to believe that.
They put him in the.
One person is pure, the whole nation
They
is
leave him in the
tameh.
They leave him in the secret room, in the chamber, in the Beis Hamikdash. You know? So
And again, who was going Gadol? Matityahu, he was not involved in the war. No, he died in the middle of the war. Matityahu died in the middle of the war. Right?
Colgado.
I don't know. But anyway, the war was also 25 years, the whole thing over there. התקינו רבותינו שבדור ההוא שיהיו 8 ימים, אלו האכל מיום כ"ה בכסלו והלאה. So now the Chachamim in that generation decided that the 25th and on was going to be adding 8 days, ימי שמחה והלל, the days of rejoicement, and Hallel. How much Magadlel? Hallel Gamur. Make a Hallel with the bracha, which we don't do, by the way, on Pesach. Pesach only the first 2 days on bracha. The rest, no more bracha. Over here, that this is more, looks like more significant and more important, that there is a Hallel with bracha. ומדליקים בהם נרות בכל לילה שמונת הלילות לפרסם הנס ולגלותו. And therefore, every night we light special Hanukkah light, the candles, and the point of that is to exemplify, amplify the miracle, and to make it reveal to the whole world. וימים אלו נקראים חנוכה. And these days are called Chanukah. והם אסורים בהספד ובתענית. These days are completely prohibited to make any hesped and or ta'anit. Not allowed to do it. ואין מספידים בחנוכה אלא לחכם בפניו. The only person you're allowed to do hesped is somebody who is a Talmid Chacham, and only while he's still, the body, the goof is right in front of you. Meaning, Talmid Chacham that died 7 days ago, or 30 days ago, right? You don't do it on Hanukkah. No hesped. Okay? It has to be right in front of you. If his body is not in front of you, therefore you don't do nothing. The Rabbi says over here, what's going on here? Who brings down? Why every Sefer Halachot you look at? That's how they bring down this whole Maaseh over here. They bring down the occurrence, the history a little bit to refresh your memory. So the Rabbi says, "Kol ze alashon Rambam." It says over there in Rambam the same language. The Sabar le shenes the hanitzachon histayem b'yom kav hev Kislev. So Rambam, he is the one who paskins this whole story. And he says, according to his opinion, the 25th of Kislev was when the war ended. Okay, we'll see the significance. So on that day, they stopped fighting anymore. The Pri Chodesh writes, Chanukah. Why is it named Chanukah? To tell you, Al Shem, the name is Shechanu. Chanu means relaxing. The Kav Hey on the 25th, Kislev, which is Chanukah. Okay, 20. The Kav is a 20. Hey is a 5. So you have Chanukah, 25. So he brings down all the other Rabbonim who say the same thing. Ela, שלפי זה קשה, שאם כן, מדוע אנו מדליקים נרות חנוכה בליל כ"ה? היה לנו להדליק בליל כ"ו. So according to this explanation, it's a little bit strange. Why are we lighting the Hanukkah licht on the 25th at night? At night, it should be, if they fought on the 25th and they won the battle on the 25th, when would you win the battle usually? During the day, right? So you should be lighting the 26th at night. The Hanukkah licht, the menorah will be light at night. There's no menorah lit in the middle of the day, right? Towards the evening was when you light the menorah, which is what? For the day of 26. So, according to this explanation, we should all be lighting on 26th and 25th. Why we're starting on 25th?
can't put it on top of the.
So the Rabbi answers, ויש ליישב, we could answer, בהקדם הקושייה שהקשה בית יוסף, we could see what בית יוסף already wants to discuss over there in the question, שכמעט שהיה בפח השמן כדי להדליק לילה אחד, והנס היה 7 ימים, אם כן 7 לילות היה לנו להדליק, ולא 8. So the Beit Yosef also asked the same question, the following question. Because I don't understand. If the jar, the jug of oil was enough to last for 1 day, so really the nest is 7 days. The miracle is 7 days. So let's light only 7 days. Why are we lighting 8 days? What happened there? Right? לפי האמור יש לומר שהדלקת ליל הראשונה הוא משום נס הניצחון. So according to this, we could learn that the whole purpose why we light 8 is because we want to commemorate the first day as the first day of completion of a war, of winning the war. Therefore, we're lighting the first day for that, and then we light 7 days for the miracle of the.
I heard a Pashah that just the 1 day alone, just for finding the Pach Shemen is enough considered 1 day. That should be a reason to light an additional light. Why it's 8 and not 7?
What, to refining?
Finding the Pach Shemen. Finding that, yeah.
You mean that because it's
Because they
should
found
take
it.
longer?
No, because they found
the finding.
The
You
finding,
said.
yeah,
Okay.
was one. I someone else I saw that.
I thought you said refining.
Oh, fine, no, just
The finding of itself, that was a nest,
Finding
therefore they
of
lit it.
itself,
Okay, makes sense.
that's what-
I heard it also. Again, it's 42 million different ways to understand
Right,
this.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Ask for it.
כמו שכתב בספרי ידיעות הרמב"ם, אוקיי, ושאר שבעת הלילות הוא משום נס פח השמן. So again, the explanation is that the first day is because we win the battle on that day, the war ended, and the 7 days is because of the nest of the miracle. Okay. אם כן, דברי הפרי חדש. עד כאן דברי, אוקיי. אולם המאירי argues, so wait a minute, כתב שהנס של ניצחון והחשמונאים היה ביום כ"ד בכסלו. Really, the entire miracle of winning the war, of the Choshmanaim beating the millions of army. We're talking about 13 people beating the army of millions. We're talking about millions of Jews, by the way. We're not talking about millions of Greeks over there. Greeks didn't have millions of soldiers in Israel. There's no way possible, right? They were off conquering other parts of the world, right? So the Jews, they had maybe 100,000 Jews. So soldiers, maybe less. You have to understand that how much people you already have in the army, and how much you need to do once you got rid of the king and you got rid of the army from this country. And this country is a little chachka, 500 kilometers, both ways. So what do you put over there? How much soldiers you got to put already there? You need to feed the soldiers. You need this. So there was not a big army there. So who was the million people that they fought? They killed over 1 million people. Over 1 million people. Who were they fighting? The Jews. There were Mosrim. Those are the Jews that were on the sides of the Greeks. And they said to the Hashmonaim, you guys are crazy. You're going to bring us back to disaster. So they are actually killing they came out with swords against the Hashmonaim, the Kohanim, and they killed them. That was the miracle. That even Jews, those evil Jews and we have to understand the Jew has a lot of power in his mouth and his speech, with Hashem also. Hashem blocked everything from those, and he killed them with those 8, the family of 8, with 5 more family of 5, 8 more volunteers. So you had 13 altogether, the whole army. The whole army, 13. Against millions of Jews who were protecting the Greeks.
For so many?
Yeah, it was a disaster. Okay? So he says like this. So they defeated the war on the media says they fought the war on the 24th, they ended, and he brings down the Shabbat Kaf Aleph, the page 21. Amud Bet brings that they finished the war on the 24th, not 25th. So now the 25th of the Kislev, that's when they lit. That's the appropriate time. From the jug of oil that had the seal of Kohen Gadol. It says over there like this. ודולד מסתפינה הייתי אומר שנפל טעות סופר בכ"ד בדברי הרמב"ם צריך לומר כ"ד בכסלו. So he says over here the Sefer that says the one rabbi says really sounds like even by Rambam maybe there was a mistake. It's supposed to be the 24th because you have open Gemara. You can't go against the Gemara Rambam. Where did you come up with 25? Or you could say maybe Rambam's intention was that they fought the 24th. And listen, when you fight, when you win the wars, right? When it takes time until everybody realizes the war is won. So it took them until the nightfall of 25th. That's when they found out the war is on. Okay, that's what Rambam meant. Okay? Okay, להדליק ביום כ"ו כדברי הפרי חדש. כן, הרי לא נעשה נס של השמן אלא לאחר כך, והיה לנו לעשות ט' ימי חנוכה. So he says, if that's true, that the miracle, the winning of the work occurred on the 24th, so you should be lighting 9 days of Hanukkah. Why is 9 days? Because you want to celebrate one day, according to Rambam, you want to celebrate one day what?
The first day.
The day of winning the war. So if you want to win the war, if that's the whole calculation, then okay, then you should be celebrating 9 days Hanukkah somehow, okay? However, the rabbi doesn't like this answer. Whatever it says Rambam, שהיו מדליקים המנורה בכל יום גם בבוקר, שדקתם היא הטבתם, והאחרונים מצאו מקור לדברי הרמב"ם. However, the Rambam actually says, and that's what we do in Beit Knesset. In Beit Knesset, we light in the morning also, right? So we fulfill the Rambam. So that in the Beit Knesset, we light in the night, with publicly, and then in the morning, also publicly, and that was Islama. בספר הזוהר, לסדרה בציינה דרכה להון בכל יומה טרן זמנין. So it says over there, according to Zohar, you have to light the Chanukah twice. Okay? ובפרשת בהלותך, מה ישנה דכתיב בבוקר בכתיבו, מה ישנה התם דכתיב ובהלות. So it says over there that they learn in the parasha from the words that you have to light it in the morning, and then you have to light it at night. Amar Yehuda, kula chad milah. So it really actually means one mitzvah. So he brings down, that's what Rambam meant, exactly. Because that's what, so the Choira, it makes sense, right? So they had battled into the night of the 25th, and they won probably in the morning. So now, they lit, I don't know if you're allowed to lit, Mistama, why not? It's supposed to light from night to night, right? Night to night. That was the whole miracle of the Chanukah, not the miracle of menorah that it could light the whole day without a problem. I mean, even though they put a little bit, so that's going to be a discussion that in itself, when they light the menorah, the oil in the Mishkan, it not manifest itself anyway. Let's say you put in your house. How much oil you have to put in order for it to last 24 hours?
Yeah,
it's not gonna,
Shabbos candles, they don't last so long.
Right. So yeah. So it also depends on the width of the ptilah. But over here, since you wanted to burn a lot, you wanted to burn beautiful, you make a lot of ptilah, so it's going to be bigger and that. But still, that was some will argue that was actually the nest itself. So then, once we started talking about the nisim, we cultivated that into the Nez B'ezrat Hashem. Okay, there's a lot of discussion about it here, but we want to cover the halacha ground. If we're going to have more time to discuss B'ezrat Hashem after we finish all the halachot of Hanukkah throughout the series for the next 20 days, we will go into the juicy more parts. But that's, in the beginning, I just wanted to throw that in. There's much more to discuss. Halacha bet. Nohagot anashim shelo lasot melacha. The women have a custom not to perform any work. The women don't do anything that has to do with sewing, right? Or sriga, or maybe even weaving, right? So you tell your wives, my dearie, I go to Yeshivat Shalom Bayit over here. The rabbi told us, you are exempt from doing any heavy work or anything that's not pertaining to Hanukkah during this half hour of lighting of Hanukkah. Vacation. Mommy, you have a vacation. 8 days vacation. 30 minutes a day. But don't forget, you have to make all the latkes, all the frying, all the there and there. You have a lot of work to do before that and after that. But those 30 days, you have a vacation. 30 minutes. במשך חצי שעה מהדלקתם. So you tell your wives, okay, 30 minutes you light the Chanukah. During the time of the mitzvah, don't do anything. No laundry, nothing. No folding your laundry, no work at all. והטעם הוא משום הקר להודיע שאסור להשתמש לאור נרות החנוכה. Now, again, לכתחילה, in olden days, that was the only thing that was lit. Right? People didn't have, like we have today, Baruch Hashem, we have the most richest people, like I always say. It's haram anybody pushes off a wedding because they claim that I don't have enough money. Right? A wedding should be taking place within a week. Today's generation, if you could you could drink wine on Shabbat table, you could make a wedding within a week. That's what I hold. There's no reason to be waiting 3, 4 months, 5 months until I invite all the guests. Okay, today, Adarabah. All the invitations come out 3 weeks before and you don't get an answer. Oh, we were busy. Whoever wants to come to the wedding, they'll come. Whoever doesn't come, they don't come. 1 week, every wedding should be held in a week. And I hold it's a haram, it's a mamash avera, what they're doing to the Khatam and Khala. And I believe that Hashem is not so happy about it. If you could afford it, why not?
Long engagements aren't.
Chas v'shalom. What's long engagement? More than 10 days. What's the purpose? Where's the purpose?
No one does quicker.
That's the problem. No one. No, that's right. Then we have someone. What's the divorce rate, by the way? You have to take everything into consideration. Everything that we do evil has to be reprocessed and stopped.
Amongst the Yidden as the Goyim.
Still, yeah, okay. How 70 years ago, you didn't have one divorce in the whole town. Okay? A whole country, maybe you had one. You can say Europe, or you would take a country of Hungary, unheard of. A whole country.
Back then there were shtetl.
Bukharians, what?
Nowadays everybody's different. People do get divorced over a hierarchy.
That's right. Because there's no siyata d'shmaya in the house. But if you start the house wrong, how you want Hashem to protect you? How you have to there? Yeah, because the convenience. Everybody's worried about convenience. That's the problem. Anyway, so the rabbi says over here, now you have 30 minutes, tell your wife, vacation, nothing, don't do anything. אבל בבישול ואפייה וצרכי אוכל נפש מותרות. Thought you were going to give them all there. They're allowed to cook. Lady, no laundry. Go to the kitchen. If they want. Okay. Anyway, most of the time they already prepared everything. They prepared everything in advance. Yeah, somehow they prepare Yom Tov 3 days in advance. Before over here now they have to prepare the middle day of the Hanukkah list. I don't know. אבל יש נשים שנהגו שלא לעשות מלאכה בכלל בחנוכה. Whoa, this is going to be a problem now. Some women took it too far. Shalom, how far did they take it? No work at all on the days of Hanukkah. like Yom Tov. ויש לבטל מנהגם חס ושלום abolish such custom. What does that mean? Yom Tov. It's not Yom Tov. 8 days Yom Tov. Are you kidding me? No work? כי הבטלה מביאה לידי שימום. Why is that asur? The rabbi says it's a beautiful thing to abolish such a custom because it's going to bring them to do bad things. It's going to bring them to boredom, and if they don't do what needs to be done in the house, they will do worse things. Therefore, abolish such a custom, and that's it. ומכל מקום יש אומרים שטוב לנשים להימנע ממלאכות כבדות. However, some still are accustomed that during these 8 days they stay away from a heavy load work. So, Baruch Hashem today, every house has a cleaning lady almost. So, big deal. Let the cleaning lady do the laundry this time. They go on tviyah, so all the heavy work that's there, so they give it to the goyot. Especially in my house on Chol HaMoed also. How you do laundry? You have small little kids. What do you do with laundry? You have a goyot. That the cleaning lady, let them do laundry, it's not a problem. שיש בהן תראה. על כל פנים, ביום ראשון, שמיני של חנוכה, maybe they should, maybe the first day, maybe the 8th day of Hanukkah, a little bit stay away from heavy work. אבל האנשים אינם נמנעים משום מלאכה. However, males, Rabbi Yitzchak, Shalom Bayit, I don't want to hear Shalom Bayit, I have to go to your home. Shalom Bayit, you abandon the house, you come over here. Yeah. However, men are allowed, must do everything they do. There's no, I have to start working. What?
Whatever they can do for Shalom Bayit.
No. That's the best thing to do for Shalom Bayit. You're right. They'll come to yeshiva to learn. But that's the problem. It's being abused today. Shalom Bayit business Why do we call the yeshiva
Now
shalom
when they
bayit?
say, why are you never home? Why are you never
What?
home? Now when the wife says, why are you never home? Why are you never home?
And I say, why you're never in yeshiva? Why aren't you in yeshiva for 12 hours a day?
So when I listen, I mean,
I'll say 12 hours.
Conflict.
She's so, huh?
So there's a conflict now.
No, there's no conflict.
Yeah, she
There's
wants
no
me to come
conflict.
home. You
She
want me
wants
be
to go
here,
to
right?
Gan Eden, right? Also.
Of course.
So the condition is you have to be learning in the morning, hour and a half, and in the night, hour and a half.
She's gonna go either way. So I'm not.
What?
She's not worried. She knows she's gonna go either way. She's a tzaddik. Yes. She's gonna,
What? No such thing.
she's gonna go either way.
No woman tzaddiket will go to Gan Eden. A woman could get up and give droshes to ladies all her life. She will not have Gan Eden.
Unless she lets her husband.
Unless she sends her husband to learn Torah, and she tells her husband, the children to go to, she drives, and she has to drive her kids to the yeshiva. Not ask her husband to stop learning Torah to drive the kids to the yeshiva. That's shalom. That is also asur. What's going on today, Michal? I see I'm trying to learn with people, boom, they're running away. Right away. Everybody running away in the morning. Carpool, they have to drive the kids to the school. What are the wives doing? Resting. Yeah. If she's sick, I understand. She's I don't know. Sometimes she's pregnant, there's a lot of, I don't know, she has an infection or something, I understand. She's unable to
She
move.
just wants to sleep in.
But she just wants to rest, and the husband should be like a ox running around instead of learning Torah. So what's going to be? Well, I don't understand this, ladies. I don't understand them. Gimel. Yesh omrim sheribuy shesaudot amarim behem b'mei Chanukah enam ela saudat rishut. So someone is saying that all this suudot that we make on Chanukah, it's not actually a mitzvah that is what's his name? That's obligatory. Like Yom Tov, right? Yom Tov, Friday, Sunday, like Shabbos night, Shabbos morning is an obligation to make Suudah. And it's Kiddush, Ela Bimkom Suudah, right? We have rules like this. It's a Kiddush unless you have to make a Suudah. So you have to make a Suudah, there's an obligation. However, on Hanukkah, 8 days, the meals that you perform or that you enjoy in those days, right? What's his name? Somebody made a joke. He eats sufganiyot, and he eats sufganiyot how many days in the life? How many left in the life? So right, so on the 8th night he eats eight sufganiyot, but maybe he doesn't know if he ate all 8, so he has to do it again. And whenever he's Kavana, yeah, of course. All right. So there is no mitzvah. The mitzvah is the obligation to eat on Hanukkah. It's a reshut. Because the Rana sages did not say these are the days for rejoicing and drinking. Well, no, nothing. Not like Purim. Purim is also the Rabbanan. Just like Hanukkah, right? Purim is also the Rabbanan from the rabbis. Over there it says Kavu, it says the day of Simcha, you have to send friends, and you have to make a Suudah and then make feast. However, there is nothing on Hanukkah. However, some argue and say, Shesh mitzvah beribui. Wow, supposed to finish already. What's going on? HaSeudot. We'll just finish up. We're in this halacha. Some say what? There is mitzvah in the ribui HaSeudot to make more seudot. However, while we're making a meal, there is a custom to sing songs for Shevach to Hashem in these meals. And then while we're doing the singing and doing the Torah, then it becomes a mitzvah or a meal of the mitzvah. ומה טוב ומה נעים לנצל מסיבות כאלה לדרשות בדברי תורה ויראת השם טהורה. And how great it is, obviously, to utilize this time of making suudot, because everybody, the stomach always talks to everybody. You invite people with the children to not children. Make nice ganiyot. So yeah, we have to start fundraising for that, I see. Yeah.
Latkes.
Not latkes.
Why not?
Ganiyot. Yeah, latkes also. Okay, we have to. Every night we're going to be learning here Chanukah night. After we left the bed, we'll come and have Seder.
We have children. We need a whole kitchen over here. We got to do latkes.
Yeah, starting Sunday night, right? So this Chanukah is this year Sunday night. Okay.
The first night is Sunday night.
The first night is Sunday night. Last night is Sunday night. So B'ezrat Hashem, we're gonna have plenty of. I don't know. They're trying to squeeze me out of here. Go back to Lakewood for Hanukkah night. For Hanukkah time. I don't know what's gonna be. I don't know. B'ezrat Hashem, I'm trying to get weasel my way out of it. Anyway. So use those days of obviously when you're touching people's stomach, when come closer to Hashem with Yirat Shamayim and Musar, and people who are in this generation who are making the generation to become closer and better in the service to Hashem, they're like shining stars in the sky, and in Shamayim, in Hashem's world. And of course, when you are doing that during the meal, and for sure those are considered to be meals of Suda mitzvah. ויהי רצון שהשם יעשה עמנו ניסים ונפלאות כמו שעשה לאבותינו בימים ההם בזמן הזה, and we were hoping that we were davening to Hashem Almighty, that Hashem is going to perform with us the same miracles as He did for our forefathers in those days. Israel nosha b'Hashem teshuat olamim, and the nation of Am Israel is depending on Hashem, and Hashem is going to be saving them. ונזכה ביד בשם צדקנו, the Rabbi gives us over here with the bracha, that Bezrat Hashem we will be zoche to have the Mashiach coming, and the Rosh Tevot over them is Lakim Shmonat Yemei Chanukah. So that means that the Gematria over here of the Rosh Tevot, actually it's talking about Mashiach. Mashiach is Mem Shin Yud Chet. So Rabbi says that means Mem is what for? Madlikim, lighting, right? Mem is for Madlikim. Shin is Shmonat, 8. Yemei, 8 days. Chanukah. So that's Mashiach. You light Chanukah, 8 days, lighting candles. That is the Rashi Tevot spells Mashiach, lighting, Madlikim, Shmonat, Yemei Chanukah. Beautiful. And Nadlika menorah bebeit Kodesh v'tifartenu, and light the Bezrat Hashem we will be lighting in the Chanukah. And the menorah in the time of right in the Beit HaMikdash properly, Melech b'viyot chazeni aleinenu, and we will see the glory of Hashem's glory and beauty of Hashem's power and strength and the might. The mihira b'yameinu, amen.
Sarah Babaji always have a menorah in front of the Chabad houses and everything.